Shall we start?
Yes, Mama. Thanks.
Namaskaram. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. During the first class in Sadhana Panchakam, we have seen the first verse in the 3 or 4 steps, the sadhanam we have seen. We have seen the life history of Adi Shankara briefly. We know that he lived only for 32 years. He was born in Kaladi to Shivaguru and Aryamba. Even though he lived for only 32 years, the amount of work he has done is unimaginable. As we have seen, after 114 texts or bhashyams or all the other works which he has done, Sadhana Panchakam is the most simplest one. And it is a guide, and it is very useful for the beginners who would like to get into the spiritual side of our life. Even though it looks like a simple text, in fact, it gives us the entire aspect of Vedanta, and this itself is a great big exercise. In the first sadhana, first step, he has said that Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam. Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam. He said that let us study Veda daily. Because for any subject to study, we need to have a basic qualification, whether we go for engineering or whether we go for medicine or whatever the subject we choose to study. In our secular life, we need to have a basic qualification. A person who is not good in mathematics, he cannot get into medicine. Or the one who is very strong in physics and chemistry, he cannot get, and he is not good in mathematics, he cannot get into engineering subject. That is, for any degree, any education, you need a basic qualification. So too for Vedanta. But we have crossed the age, or we are not yet qualified, whatever may be our age. Till that point of time, we must be in a position to make our mind open and start learning Vedas, or get ourselves qualified to study Veda. So the first thing we have said is Vedo Nityam Adhiyadam. Do you mean to say that by studying Veda daily, we'll have our qualification? No. It is a preparatory step, or to start with it, we will study Vedas. Will it immediately give you the result? No. It has its own time period. It has got, we need to have a certain frame of mind. It is not a stipulated time period in 3 years, like you complete your degree in 3 years, or 5 years you complete your engineering, or 6, 7 years your medicine subjects. But in this aspect of Vedo Nityam Adhiyadam, few days ago, Ramana Charana Tirtha, one who has taken sannyas, while after taking the sannyas, he has said that he has studied for 40 years. It took 40 years for him to get that frame of mind to renounce. He was like you and me. He was studying Veda. In fact, he's an excellent orator, and he keeps giving lectures at various places. For him, it took 40 years to come out of this and take sannyasa diksha. For Ramana Maharishi, it is just one word is sufficient. The moment he heard Annamalai, Annamalai, he had that type of an experience which brought him to Tiruvannamalai from his native place in Madurai, near Madurai. For Seshadri Swami, nothing. We don't know anything about his background, history in the sense whether he studied Veda or not, we don't know. But he was aloof in his own way at Tiruvannamalai. And it appears that we don't know whether he had studied anything in his childhood days. So the basic thing is, let us start preparing ourselves. Let us learn Vedas daily. If we can't do that, we will try to do some other activities through that we pick up the qualities which is necessary for studying Vedas. Then second one we have seen, Tadudinam karma swanishthiyatham. That is, he said that let us do our action. How we have to do? We have to do our action. We have to act. We can't keep quiet. Keeping quiet is not a small thing. Everybody says that Ramana kept quiet. He was not speaking anything. He remained in his own self and he never came out of the Nishta. If anybody asks questions, normally he says, you go and search yourself. Go into the questions, who am I? So he remained quiet. But all of us cannot be like that. We have to need to do activities. Let us do our activities. Let us act. We have to act in a various roles we have got. We have got a role to play in our life, either as a father, mother, son, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, or whatever it is the role we have in our lifespan of time. We need to play our roles. And those roles, according to that role, whatever is ordained to perform in that role as a role player, we have to act. But that action also should be done as per the direction of the Vedas. Dharma, what Dharma Shastra says, that we have to follow. The third one, he says that while acting, what we should do? We cannot act in the open space without any idea or without any goal. But we have to act. But while acting, we act with a specific goal in our mind. And for that, we have kept some milestones. And to reach that goal, let us put forth our efforts. The efforts may be yours, but the energy through which you put forth efforts is not yours. You get energy somewhere which is invisible. And while performing that action, we will offer that to the Lord. What do you mean by offering it to the Lord? All that he says is, you keep performing, put forth your efforts. And to put forth efforts, you need energy. You get energy because as a student, as a child, you keep writing exams in the schools and colleges. The mother keeps giving every 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever you want to eat. You get so much of energy. So the first one who is responsible for your victory is your mother. And the second one is your father, the teacher who teaches you. The teacher who teaches well, because of that you are able to perform well in the examination. But having written the exam, without studying, you cannot expect a good result. But having prepared for the examination, or having prepared, put forth all your efforts for whatever the job you are doing, sometimes things won't happen the way in which you want this to happen. It may be due to various factors. There are 3 factors involved in doing any action. One is the man, you as an individual. You have to put forth efforts. Your actions are very, very important. And the things which are all surrounding you. Say, for example, when I study for the examination at home, I should sit in a corner without being disturbed. For my sake, all cannot at home switch off the TV. If I have to work hard, if I have to get good marks, I should be in a corner of a room, focus on my studies and work hard. I know the factor outside, the factors surrounding me. I know I don't have any control. I cannot ask all the people to switch off, or I cannot ask the people in my apartments down below not to play. They make a huge noise. When the cricket match goes on, the crowd yells like anything. I cannot stop them. So the factors, the first is yourself you are the first factor. You have to have a good health. You have to, whatever you study, you have to remember. And whatever you remember at that point of time when you write the examination, you must be able to write without omitting important points. The second factor is the factors surrounding you. You know the cause because of which you are not able to study, but you don't have a control. So the factors surrounding you should be perfect. The third one is that we all call it as a factor of God. That may be playing 1% role, but that 1% makes a lot of difference. All on a sudden, right in the examination hall, shooting takes place. We have seen yesterday the shooting took place near in USA. Many people were killed. Kids were killed. Because of that, the police may control the movement of activities. So when you write examination, there are unknown factors, uncertain factors, which are all not at all under your control. Even you don't know what that would be. So when you go there, write your examination, it is all due to the third factor, the unknown factor over which you have no control. So he says that you perform action and offer it to the Lord. What does it mean? When you offer anything to the Lord, when it comes back to you, it is no more a mere flavor, or no more it is the one which is offered to the Lord. It comes to you back as a prasadam. Even when a small flower, which when it is touched in the feet of the Lord and it is given to you by the temple priest, it has its own sanctity. You accept with utmost respect, take it in your hand and show it to your eyes and hold it. When the prasadam comes, the one which are all eatable like sweet or pongal or whatever it is, when it comes to you, you eat it with utmost respect, with utmost sanctity. When the prasadam comes to you, you don't have anything to complain about. When the lemon rice comes or tamarind rice comes from the Venkatachalapati temple, you don't have anything to complain about. But when it comes from your own kitchen, prepared by your mother, you take the liberty of criticizing it. Or when it comes from prepared by your own people at home, you take the liberty of saying salt is not there, hot is so much. But after doing any action, performing any action, when the result comes, it is our duty to accept it with utmost respect. The result may not be up to your expectation. It may not be 100% perfect. If it is not up to your expectation, find out why so. Don't find fault with the third factor, that is unknown factor, the God factor. God is too unkind to me. Don't say that. Or when you don't get the result what you wanted it to be, you don't find fault with your people at home. My sister has switched on the TV, listening to the songs with high pitched volume. No, you listen to yourself. You also put forth your efforts. The school teachers have given you wonderful lessons, taken classes extremely well. Perhaps it is time for you to introspect, rectify the mistakes, or rectify whatever the shortcomings and try to perform well. So that is means offering. He says you work hard, work with an intention to offer at the feet of the Lord. When the result comes, you take it as a prasad. Okay. Then he says that fourth sadhana, kamye madis yach yatha, kamye madis yach yatha. He says that with intention, or let us stop doing our work, stop doing our actions with a result in our mind or some expectation in our mind or with some intention in our mind. It doesn't mean that we should not do that. All that it is said is perform well. Whatever the limitations or whatever the restrictions or whatever the shortcomings are there, try to rectify it. But still, you have to act. When the confusion was there with Arjuna, whether to fight, why I should fight? Why I should fight against my own grandparents and my cousins and everybody? He's one of the greatest fighter. And he's the most intelligent person. You and I are like Arjuna. They got a skill, they got a knowledge, they got an emotional maturity. And we have got capability to do whatever we wanted to do. Sky is our limit because we are all intelligent human beings. Today, you must have seen, we are scared of artificial intelligence. Someone is trying to pull us down. No. You are the most intelligent person. It is for you to act. Then what would happen to the result? Arjuna was worried. If I kill Bhishma, if I kill my Acharya, Drona and others, what is the use of winning this battle? Krishna says, it is your job to fight. It is your duty to fight. Nowhere in our Dharma Shastras, it is said that it is a right. We don't have rights. We have only duties to perform. Wherever rights are involved, there is always a conflict, whether to do or not to do. But when duty is involved, there is no conflict. There is no option. You should do. You shall. It is as good as an order. But we choose not to do. That is a different issue altogether. It is the duty of son to take care of his father. And it is the duty of a son to take care of his mother. If you look at the life of Adi Shankara, he didn't want to hurt his mother without taking permission from his mother before going at the time of taking sannyasa. He waited for the time, appropriate time, to get her permission. So what he says is that let us act in such a way that we are not affected by the end result. Okay, we have seen great acharyas, great jnanis, they are performing their actions. We don't know why they are performing actions. We ask questions ourselves, why this acharya is doing, why that acharya is performing action. If we look at in our own house, before starting any function, we have a sankalpam. The sankalpam is limited to us. I should be fine, my family should be fine, my daughter should be fine, my son should be fine, my parents should be good, must keep good health, my daughter-in-law, son-in-law, all should keep good health, and they should move forward in their profession. They should exceedingly do well. With that sankalpam, we do any puja, whether it is Navagraha puja or Ganapati puja or any homa or whatever it is, while doing Graha Pravesham puja, whatever we do, we always have a sankalpam. That sankalpam is centered around us and our family. But on the other hand, we see all great acharyas going to temple. We have seen Kanchi Piradabidi has gone to Ayodhya temple a few days ago. He also did sankalpam. They also have to do sankalpam. But what they do, the sankalpam is for the welfare of the whole world. Because for us, the entire world is a family. We don't have a limited thinking. Our thinking always at the global level. It is not now. We are talking about globalization only now. But the globalization started when Veda itself started. Because the world is one. We are all one. And our family, the whole world is our family. That's the thinking of Sanatana Dharma. So when these acharyas do, what happens? When these acharyas act, when they do sankalpam, when they do puja, what happens? Their results get distributed among his devotees. When we do our action, whenever we do, whatever we do, he said that let us do, offer it to the Lord. Then he says that let the results also be offered to the Lord. Then he says that let the results, the Papa and Punya, we need not get scared of it. The Papa and Punya is nothing but invisible results. Drishtapala and Adrishtapala. There are many things which are all invisible, but still we act. So he says that in the fifth sadhana, let us act in such a way that Pabaugo pariduyatam, Pabaukaha pariduyatam. That is, let all our pavas and punyas get destroyed through our action. That means whatever the results which we get, let us not get disturbed. Let us accept the result as it is. In that process, we develop a frame of mind where we are not disturbed by the Drishtapala and Adrishtapala. It is very, very difficult to have that type of frame of mind. That's why Adi Shankaracharya says in the Bhajagovindam, don't keep on repeating the grammar. Dukran karne, no. You understand the meaning of it. After understanding the meaning, seek the Lord. Vaja Govindam, seek the Lord. When you seek the Lord, the ultimate goal is the Lord. All your actions are all mere road paths through which you walk and try to reach the divine. So the actions are important, but doing action, how we should do our action is more important. So he says that let us destroy all our papa and punya, pavavakaha pariduyatam. Let us destroy all our papa and punya, let it get destroyed. A classic example they used to say is like Ramana Maharishi and all acharyas, great Mahatmas, they act. When they act, it is like a fried seed. The fried seed doesn't germinate. They act in such a way that they are all not disturbed. They literally destroy or literally annihilate all the pabas and punyas, or the whatever they get, they don't accept it, or they are not affected by it. The net result of their actions, the so-called actions, it goes to the devotees and the people in the country. We have seen our acharyas, great all acharyas, during critical crisis period when the whole world is facing. They conduct homas, yagas, pujas for the well-being of the whole world. Their sankalpam is that their intention is peace should prevail in this world. We should live for each other, not fight at each other. We stand as one family. That is our goal. But on the other hand, you and I are concerned, ordinary people, ordinary mortals. We get carried away by the fame and fortune we get when we get a positive results, or the result, the positive result is the result which we feel that it is up to our expectation. We have seen a lot of, not in during a tennis match between India and Australia. There was a famous tennis player from Madras. He used to play so beautifully, but still he lost the match. But even though he lost the match, the game was glorified. The individual from Madras has lost the game, but everybody appreciated him for the behavior on the court or the way in which he accepted the result. That is more important. Sometimes a small efforts from your side make a big difference. Sometimes a lot of efforts put forth from your sides may not give result the way in which you want. So let us act. Let us offer our action to the Lord. Let us offer our result at the feet of the Lord. And through those actions, let our papa and punya get annihilated. Let us not do any action in anticipation of results. Then the sixth one is Bhava Sukhe Desho Anusandhiyatam. What he says is, whatever we get happiness, joy or sorrow, we get definitely we get through our actions. Joy, happiness, sorrow, everything we get. Nobody can deny that. We have seen during these tennis games or cricket game, when people play, when they hit a beautiful shot, they get elated, and there was a huge crowd, noise from the crowd. But here, these are all temporary. These are all not permanent. These are all not permanent. Okay, not permanent may be a negative sentence. Maybe it is not eternal. Or it doesn't remain. The joy which we get doesn't remain for a longer time. The joy when we get, when we do our actions, from that joy, we don't want to get dissociated ourselves. We want the joy to be with us all the time. When sorrow comes, we would like to drop it like a hot potato. We want that sorrow to go immediately. We don't feel like handling that sorrow or unhappiness. We always would like to enjoy being in a happy mood. In fact, that's what our rishis say, your nature is happiness. But our in realities, our life seems to say the other way around. So Adi Shankara says, when you do action, whatever the joy and sorrow which you get are limited. What he says that you understand is limited nature of this. See, you have scored excellent marks in your school final. Now you are entering into a college. Be happy that you got an excellent mark. But this performance has to be continued all the time. If you score well in your 10th standard or your school final examination, when you step into your college, this should continue. The joy of passing excellent with the good marks in your school final is one point. With that glory, you cannot continue forever when you study, when you go to college. So understand that the joy and happiness, joy and sorrow which you get is of not permanent nature. They are all of uncertain nature. This you and I must have seen in our school days or college days or in our office environment. We have seen this. So the thing is, step by step, Adi Shankara is evolving this concept of studying Vedas, doing work, offering the result. Don't get agitated by the fruits of actions. The joy and sorrow are limited. They cannot do anything. Then what to do? Then what is the goal? He says that Matmecha Vyavasiyatam. Atma, desire for Atma. That means what? Try to see your own nature. Everybody says that your nature is happiness. Your nature is, to use the technical term, consciousness, or your nature is joyful all the time. Perhaps by following the first 6 steps, that itself is very difficult in our life. That's why in most of the places, after studying, whether in a secular education or in Vedic studies, you have to get into the field. You have got internship after during your studies, mostly in various colleges. And Vedic students also have got a field to apply their own knowledge. In this Vedic knowledge, the difference is what you want to know and what you know and what you want to become are one and the same. I want to know about myself. He says that, Shankara says that desire to have Atma Jnana, desire to know, desire for your own self. That is the real knowledge. So when he says study Veda, it is not a mere Veda, the 4 Vedas which we think of, or the 4 divisions of Vedas which are we talk about. When he says that study Veda, the ultimate aim of studying Veda is to know yourself. Atma Jnanam. Shankara has come to our level, honorary level, after writing commentaries on Gita and Upanishads. He has put it in a nutshell of 40 points, 40 steps, so that it is very easy for us to understand. So he says, learn this, do work, offer the work, offer the fruits at the feet of the Lord. Work in such a way that you don't get carried away by all limited joys and limited sorrows. He says that have a desire for knowledge, for your own self. How it is possible? It is possible here to have this knowledge. Various other factors are also involved. When we study our secular knowledge, like science or history or geography or whatever it is, we go to school and come back, we have got additional tuition, mother or father helps you to pick up more. And you need not only the blessings of the teacher in the school, but also the blessings of our parents at home. For this knowledge, Vedic knowledge, or for this Atma Jnana, to have a desire to know about my own self, the very important factor which is talked about is Guru, the blessings of the Guru, and the blessings of the grace of the Lord. Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. That's what our Dharma says. So without the blessings of the Guru, you cannot attain this knowledge. You cannot get it without his blessings. If you see at various places, especially there is a very famous Tamil work by name Tiruvachakam, by famous saint Saivite Manika Vasagar. Lord Shiva came to him in the form of a guru and blessed him. Very few people get that type of blessings from the Lord, who comes as a guru. It is very, very significant to have a guru in your life. The guru, every family has got a guru. We should offer our pranams to him at least once in a year. That's why during Chaturmasyam, 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, we go and meet our Kula Guru. Every family has got a Kula Guru. We have to go and seek his blessings. Without his blessings, no positive result will take place. We have Onam festival being celebrated in Kerala every year. The King Bali offered his head, which represents our ego. When he offered his at the feet of the Lord blessed him with his feet. The third step of Lord Vamana was King Bali's head. So the blessings of Guru is very, very important. And of course, the God's blessings is very, very important for all our day-to-day activities. Even to offer prayer, we need his blessings. Manik Vasya says, Avan arulale avan tal vanangi. We need his grace and blessing even to offer worship, his feet, even to have a darshan. There are very famous temples like Thiruvarur, we have got a temple where that place itself is so sacred. Whoever is born there, they are all immortal. There are famous temple like Kashi. Great sages and saints whose vibration even it is felt today. It is an experience to be experienced. Unless you experience that experience, it is very difficult to explain because it is beyond science and it is beyond logic. So he says that let us have a desire for Atma-jnana. But for this Atma-jnana, there is no specific time. What is the goalpost? What I should do? One thing normally people say is, you do service to Guru, do seva. In various establishments like mutts and you have got the acharyas. It is very, very important to offer ourselves to serve at the feet of the Guru. And it is very, very important to serve in temples too. We can do a lot of service in the temple. We can clean the temples. We can do help in cleaning the water tanks. We can provide anadhanam. We can help in distributing prasadams. So many things are there. In the process, you and I develop a tendency to learn, or you and I pick up certain qualities which are all essential for us to gain this Atma-jnana. That is very, very, very important. So do seva. With that service to the Guru and with that service in the temples, not that one bulldozer come and clean it up, because the garbage within us is invisible enemies within ourselves. Adi Shankara says that is why the quality is called Tidiksha. You should learn, develop the quality by accepting the chillness and fire and cold, positive and negative aspects, two sides of any coin, you should learn to accept. That quality is called Tidiksha. We should develop that quality to gain that knowledge. Atmaknyana. For Tirunavakkar Appodiyadigal, Appar, they say Lord Shiva tested him like anything. Even the great devotees of Appar Swamigal, they used to find fault with Shiva because he tested. It was not a big test. He treated him like his friend. So it depends upon the qualification which you and I have. Sometimes he tests you. People say that Shiva tested Appar Tirunavakkar to extract all the knowledge which he has got, which comes in the form of Thirumarai. So there are various ways of expressing our devotion to the Guru and the Lord. We cannot be as strong as Kannappa, who gave his eyes to the Lord on seeing his Lord, Shiva, eyes oozing out blood. So the devotion varies from individual to individual. One other way, all cannot be as great as Kannappa. Or we can't be as strong as Sadashiva Brahmendra, who remained quiet all the time. He was untouched by nature. He was untouched by human beings. He was untouched by the environment all around. So it is through action, instead of keeping quiet. Or keeping quiet means we don't like to do any work. I'll be happy if I get freebies everywhere. Wherever I go, if I get freebies, I'll be happy. This you can see in our environment. Freebies are given so that you and I will not work. But the real joy is in working. Let us work through action. Let us is let us try to gain Atmajnana. Through knowledge, through action, let us try to qualify ourselves for Atmajnana, and we will move forward with those type of with actions which can eliminate our two aspects of any result or two aspects of any action. Accept it and seek the blessings of the Guru and the Lord, and we will move ahead. For example, even to we have so much of examples which we can give. Especially, Narada was acting. Valmiki was hunting for his family. Narada stopped him. Why you are robbing. Valmiki said, no, I am robbing because my family needs food. Then you are committing a sin by killing animals and people, robbing people. Then Narada said, you go and ask the sins which you get out of these actions, whether they will share it at home. Valmiki went, asked his family, wife and children. They said nothing doing. It is our duty to take care of us. Why I should get involved in the sins or Drishtapala and Adrishtapala? That one incident is sufficient for a hunter to become a great Valmiki who wrote epic Ramayana. So let us seek the blessings. And the last one, he says this in the first verse. Nijagrahat Turnam Vinidghamyatham. What he says that let us come out of this. Let us see next week what is this which he is trying to tell us to come out of this. He is trying to come out of this complex situations of actions, results, accepting it, rejecting it, offering it to the Lord, seeking the knowledge. What is that he is trying to tell us by saying that let us come out? Namaskaram.